And it is exactly at the top of the hour. Any moment from now, we'll be taking you live to Upper Hill, where the Kenya clinical officers in the country will be briefing members of the Fourth Estate. As and when we get an update from that particular end, we'll also link up with our reporter, that is Joseph Wahungu. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. The sign language interpreter at the bottom end of the screen is Ann Wangeshim. We start at the Supreme Court of Kenya, where EACC CEO Abdi Mohamud has pledged to deal with cases of graft decisively and ensure any proceeds of grafts are recovered and returned to the state. Mohammed, who takes over as the anti-graft boss following the exit of Twalib Mubarak, made the remarks during his swearing-in ceremony presided over by the Chief Justice Martha Koome. Further, he pledged to ensure that during his 6-year tenure, he will ensure the Commission upholds its integrity as well as tackles the challenges of bribery along the roads.
It's not actually the amount or the action done by the traffic police officer at that time. What we are looking at is the consequence that arises out of the action of the officer who may have received a bribe. If, for example, in the process, one public service vehicle gets involved in an accident and kills people, that is a huge loss. So the actions of the outcomes of the action is actually what is of more concern. Another example I may give is if, for example, an immigration officer at our points of entry receives a bribe and lets in someone who is a security threat to our country. He may have received 1,000 shillings or 2,000 shillings. But when you consider the consequences of his action, that is what we are looking at.
So we need to work very collaboratively to ensure that judiciary is doing what they're supposed to do without any hiccups of hindrances, but also that we also do our part so that we make your work easier.
So we will work together mainly to educate the public that in the judiciary, justice is not for sale. I understand there are many brokers out there who broker for magistrates and for judges. Even if they are not brokers and the judges and magistrates are brokering for themselves, we want to bring this to an end.
To education matters now, parents at Misigoi Primary School in Kisima Samburu County held demonstrations demanding the transfer of the head teacher, his deputy, and a section of teachers. The parents allege that for years, little to no learning has been taking place at the school, with learners returning home with blank pages in their books. The school teachers are also on the spot for turning the school into a poultry farm.
Parents stormed Misigoi Primary School located in Kisima, Samburu County, demanding the ouster of the head teacher Sawe Koech, his deputy Rono, and teachers. A week since schools reopened, parents are saying that teachers have not reported to school, a trend that has now become too common at the basic learning institution.
Kenya mzima shule ilifunguliwa Jumatatu. Mpaka saa hizi hakuna mwalimu kwa shule. Hakuna mtoto ambaye ameripoti kwa shule kwa sababu hakuna walimu.
Kuna walimu wamekaa hapa kwa muda mrefu, pako hata na miaka 20, wakikuja shule wanakuja kitu saa 5 wakati watoto wameshakuja. Kitu kingine nataka kusema, kuna watoto wa grade 6. Mtoto ukifuatilia kitabu kuanzia mwezi wa kwanza mpaka mwezi 25 mwezi wa 10. Hapo ndio walianzia tena kusoma watoto. Na wakati mtihani uko karibu kufika wakati hiyo. Kitu kingine nataka kusema, ukifuatilia grade 7 na grade 8, ukiangalia hata pages ya vitabu, pages 2-3 mwaka mzima. Niambia basi wao walimu wanafanya nini hiyo mwaka mzima?
Tuko na shida sana kwa sababu tuko na walimu lakini masomo hatuna. Watoto unatuma mtoto shule, unashinda ukijifanyia kazi na umetoa mtoto shule aende asome akuletee faida, lakini hatuoni faida hiyo mtoto. Huyo mtoto akirudi anakurudishia kitabu.
Some teachers have also allegedly converted the school compound into a chicken rearing field.
Hii shule iko na compound kubwa ambayo anasababisha hata hii kuku yake aende afunge huko nyuma. Lakini kwa sababu yeye imechukua shule kama ni yake, Sasa yeye anakuja kufuka kuku karibu na darasa.
The parents now want the intervention of education officers to bring sanity back.
Kuna walimu ambao tumeshajaribu kutoa ama umetolewa hapa, mwalimu ndani wiki 2 anarudishwa. Na hatujui nani anarudishanga. Kama ni wewe unarudisha hawa walimu ambao tunatoanga hapa na unarudisha baada ya wiki 1 ama wiki 2, tunataka kujua wewe ni nani unarudisha hawa na sisi tumekataa.
Sasa tuko na watoto nyumbani. Watoto kwanza ya grade 9 sasa. Watoto wanakataa kwenda shule kabisa na sijui nitapeleka wapi na wengine wako secondary. Ninaomba sana serikali watafute mahali ya kuweka hii walimu. Kwa sababu tunakaribia hata hii shule, lakini ukikuja unafuguswa hapa, uwezi hata upatiwe nafasi ya kuongea kusema mtoto yangu ako na shida gani.
We are in touch with the Ministry of Education and TSC. We will see where we can make changes, and the TSC will do as per what they can do to make education here better. What we can say is that the school has been running since Monday. On Monday we had 116 students, and the number has been consistent as per the registers given by the head teacher.
Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
Still on education matters, the government is ready to collaborate with various stakeholders in the education sector to implement the new competency-based curriculum and improve education among learners in the country. Speaking at the official opening of grade 9 classes at Township Primary School in Nandi Hills, Nandi County Education Director Harrison Muriuki says the county has 576 primary schools with a capacity of 26,731 learners. Muriuki also encouraged pupils to focus on all subjects to enable them to identify their talents when they transition to grade 9.
With the help of the government in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, which we have already broken the ground, and phase 4. The government is ready to work together with the stakeholders who are in to come and assist us to move together to make sure that this system of education is successful.
And on the political front, a section of leaders from the Rift Valley region have condemned the ongoing online backlash against the head of state. Speaking during a Thanksgiving service at the EACC Kiaimunyi Church in Nakuru County, the leaders led by Senate Majority Leader Aaron Cheriot urged critics to allow President Ruto to work for the country. Rongai Member of Parliament, that is Paul Chebor, hinted at a possible proposal to extend the president's tenure beyond the constitutionally mandated 2 terms of 5 years.
In the Bible, most of them, there are some that were immediate, but most of them, there was a time of waiting. Hasa ingekuwa hii watu ya NCCK, they would also have called God a liar, because he told Abraham, you're going to be a father. But it took time, a long period.
Manifesto ya Kenya Kwanza, tumefanya page by page, comma by comma, sentence by sentence, tunafuatilia. Na ni nyinyi mlipigia kura hiyo manifesto.
Let us support the president. Tumuombe Mungu. Ile watu wanaongea hapa wanasema ati Ruto must go. Ruto anaenda wapi?
Elsewhere, the government intends to complete all roads projects across the country by the end of 2025. National Assembly Committee on Transport and Infrastructure Chairperson George Kariuki said all contractors will be mobilized across the country to resume work on the said projects by March. He was speaking at the Kibiru Primary School during a football tournament sponsored by his office, where he further highlighted the importance of technical education for the youth.
ama March hapo, most contractors watakuwa wameenda kwa ground ndio tumalize barabara, hata hizo Mau roads zenye ziko Nyeri, zenye ziko Murang'a, zenye ziko Nyandarua, na zote najua contractors watarudi ndio, na zingine contractors wako kwa ground.
And in other news, healthcare facilities in Kiambu County are set for a major boost after the county's Department of Health embarked on equipping various hospitals with state-of-the-art medical equipment. The equipment, which includes dialysis, modern x-rays and endoscopy machines, is expected to significantly improve the quality of healthcare services in the devolved unit. Speaking during the distribution and delivery of the machines, Kiambu County Governor Kimani Wamatangi reiterated his administration's commitment to bolstering the health sector in the region. The county boss at the same time challenged healthcare providers to modernize services in a bid to enhance efficiency.
That can accommodate a CT scan machine in Kiambu Level 4 hospital. We have worked out on all the basics. We've already put the machine on order. It's been prepared, and in another 1 month we'll have the machine. The work will be commencing from next week to prepare the rooms, and in 3 months tutakuwa na CT scan hapa ndani ya kaunti ya Kiambu upande wa Kiambu Level 4 hospital. In the next 3 months also, we are replacing the CT scan machine in Thika to make sure that we have a modern one also, so that kila saa we have more patients, we have more doctors and experts serving the people.
When you have champions working, they need to be supported. Some of these champions would like to go and travel and get more exposure in the world. So if your office identifies the right people who have the heart to treat the poor patients of Kiambu, those are the people we should support to go overseas or to other countries and improve and stay up to date with the present day knowledge.
From Kiambu, let's come back here to the capital. As I informed you earlier, we're keeping an eye at Upper Hill at Kuko offices. And earlier on, they were able to address members of the Fourth Estate. And this is what they said. Clinical officers have threatened to down their tools starting January 18th. They were addressing members of the Fourth Estate earlier on. Let's listen in to some of the sentiments made there by the Kuko officials.
The specialized associations that we have here today, good morning.
Good morning.
Comrades, power!
Power!
Afia, power!
Power!
Matabibu, viva!
Viva!
My name is Washira Peterson. I am the National Chair of Clinical Officers, and I also serve as the Chair of Health Union Caucus. But today, we are here because, as you know, last week, we announced a 14-day notice. And today we are here with the people who know where the shoe is most. And from the onset, I must say again that it is very unfortunate that the practitioners of clinical medicine, the health practitioners, have to reach a point when they have to fight so that they can be able to render the services that they went to school to be able to render to Kenyans. And most unfortunate that that also happens at a time when Kenyans are suffering, when we are unable to get to the destination that we set for ourselves, where then we can say that we are achieving the universal health coverage. Last week, notice on 7, and we highlighted 2 issues. One of them being the discrimination and exclusion from the Social Health Authority. And today I want to just take a very short moment to explain to Kenyans what we mean by, because sometimes people do not understand and they think that we do these things out of selfish interest. It is a policy of the United Nations, a policy of the World Health Organization, that nations implement universal health coverage. This universal health coverage is underpinned by 3 principles. The first one being that every Kenyan, they must be able to access health services. The second principle is that they access of good quality. The third principle is that accessible health of good must not have catastrophic consequences to their financial well-being. That is what you say is all about. When it comes to our country, we put in place laws that ensure of the National Health Act. That act is the mandate sure.
Well, we apologize for that technical glitch. Of course, that was the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers National Chairperson, Peterson Wachira, addressing members of the Fourth Estate. There he is alleging that SHA is colluding with the Kenya Medical Practitioners and a Dentist Council, which is the KMPDC, in blocking clinical officers from offering services to the country. And of course, they have announced that on the 18th of this month, they will be downing their tools, a story we're keeping an eye on, and our reporter Joseph Wakungo will inform you in our subsequent bulletins. Elsewhere, a section of education stakeholders in Migori County are urging parents and students to remain calm as they investigate the reasons behind the poor performance and withheld of KCSE result from schools that were previously known for their academic excellence. The stakeholders caution parents against taking drastic measures, such as demanding the removal of principals and teachers from the school which posted poor results.
A few days after the release of the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education results, some schools are still coming to terms with the outcome of the results. The poor performance in withheld KCSE results from some schools in Migori County that were previously known for the exemplary results are causing jitters from a section of education stakeholders. The stakeholders, however, are urging parents and students to remain calm as they get to the bottom of the matter.
When a child was admitted with a grade of D, you don't expect an A from such a child. But when a child was admitted with an A and is exiting with a D, that one the teacher must be answerable. So as parents, as the community, we embrace our teachers and we support them.
Speaking during the issuance of bursary checks to students in various institutions within his constituency, led by Suna West lawmaker Peter Masara, the stakeholders promised to thoroughly scrutinize the results to understand the underlying causes and take necessary action, including pushing for the transfer of underperforming teachers.
There are avenues and ways of transferring teachers. If somebody is underperforming, the TSC is there to do their work. We only request the TSC and then we evaluate the work of that particular principal or teacher.
We must do something. Moi Nyatika here, another failure. We must do something. And we appeal to the Minister of Education also to see to it that some of the things that we want, like teachers and other things, are given to us.
Elsewhere, it was celebrations at Bahari Girls High School after Deputy Majority Leader of the National Assembly and Kilifi Central MP Owen Baya gifted the school 2 cows after they performed well in the KCSE exams.
And the teachers that are here, I want to say thank you. You have a team of young teachers. Some of them struggle to many things, but they've given their best. And that 1A that Grace has given us is not just a gift to me, but it's a gift for the whole county. And I believe it will open many, many doors for many other schools.
Addressing students at the school, Owen expressed his delight with the results, considering that apart from Bahari Girls producing the best performing girl, The school is the first public school in Kilifi to attain grade A in the national KCSE examination last year.
I'm also getting concerned because I have very senior teachers who are about to reach C5. And once they are into C5, teacher development, some become deputies, they'll be taken to other schools.
Timothy Kipnusu, Lunchtime News.
Meanwhile, Karachuonyo UDA chairman Dr. Ramadan Abdul has issued a stern warning to individuals allegedly collecting money from vulnerable residents under the guise of facilitating meetings with the Interior Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo. Speaking during an interdenominational Thanksgiving ceremony held at his home, Dr. Abdul expressed concerns over the exploitative behavior targeting the community's most susceptible members. He called on the community to remain vigilant and report such unscrupulous activities to authorities to prevent further exploitation. The prayer event marked his gratitude for surviving a road accident on Nairobi's southern bypass earlier this month.
Of people, a group of widows who are going around the country, or the county for that matter, collecting funds in the name of collecting funds to go and see Dr. Raymond Omolo. I would want to state categorically here that Dr. Raymond Omolo does not need the 100 shillings that is being collected from any other person. If anything, is the one who is philanthropic enough to be giving out whatever little that God has given him. And so issues with collecting money is neither here nor there, and is something that we cannot entertain any further. In case you are caught in this act of collecting money, be rest assured that you'll be on your own, because Dr. Raymond Omolo is no one to collect any funds from anybody.
Vihiga Women Representative Beatrice Dagala has challenged the government to increase funds allocated to the Ministry of Education to foster educational standards in the country. Speaking in Vihiga County during the disbursement of bursaries and scholarships to 150 needy students, Dagala said that the current allocation being channeled through the national government affirmative fund is not sufficient to cater for the number of vulnerable students in the counties.
Honorable na serikali imefanya vizuri through ngafu, wamelete pesa tusaidie people wanafunzi wa kutoka kwa jamii ambazo hajiziwezi. Na hii pesa hata sio enough kusaidia all the students. Kuna CDF na kuna even the president bursary. Sasa hizo zote tunasi watu wetu wachukue hizo pesa waweze kutufanya watoto wetu wasome.
Now, 2 Italian nationals accused of defrauding 32 million shillings from their fellow Italians under the pretext of selling them houses want the case in court dropped. The duo argue the Kenyan court lacks the jurisdiction to hear their case.
Daniel Lokoko and Massimo Nativi, through their lawyer Kenyua Kamundi, have also requested the release of their passports to enable them to travel. However, the complainant's lawyer Ndego Njiri opposed the plea.
We do not accept that you have jurisdiction here in Kilifi. But in the interest of time, let us hear the witnesses. Then you can decide that question when you deliver your ruling on whether there is a case to answer or not.
Mr. Kenya and his clients feel they need to go before a favorable court of their choice. And this court must test and resist that invitation.
The accused were charged that on various dates between August 30th, 2018 and August 1st, 2019 in Watamu Malindi sub-county, they jointly obtained 17 million shillings from Rita Napo by pretending that they would sublease her a plot of land measuring 0.327 hectares. In the second count, the 2 Italians were also charged that on diverse dates between March 21st, 2020 and February 24th, 2021 at Watamu Malindi sub-county, They obtained 15 million shillings from Girola Fiorenzo by pretending that they were in a position to sublease her villa number 4B, measuring approximately 0.327 hectares. Kilifi Chief Magistrate James Mwaniki will make a ruling on 20th January on whether the Kilifi Court has jurisdiction to hear the case or not, and whether the case should be struck out.
The defense is directed to raise its substantial ground on the issue of jurisdiction for response by the state, and the council watching brief for the complainants, and the court to make a substantive ruling before any further proceedings are undertaken.
Still within the coastal region, families of 3 victims who died in a light aircraft accident near Malindi International Airport are seeking compensation. The Friday incident involving a Cessna 172 plane that crashed into 2 motorcycle riders and a pillion passenger from Gandawad as they traveled to Malindi town. While 3 occupants of the plane survived with minor injuries, the tragedy has left a community in mourning. Gandawad MCA Oscar Wanje has urged the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority to expedite compensation for the victim families and called for the expansion of the airport's runway, citing safety concerns.
Serikali lazima ilipe fidia kwa hili, na zile njia nimeshasoma, nimejua. Kwa hivyo baada ya familia wamekaa wamemaliza, kwa sababu sahihi ni muda wa majonzi, tutajua jinsi gani ya kufuatilia hili jambo, lakini kuhakikishia tu ya kwamba fidia kwa jamii na familia lazima itafika. Hatuwezi sema ni negligence ya serikali, kwa sababu ajali ni ajali, haina kinga. Lakini panapo majaliwa pia tutatoa wito kwa serikali. Hii airport yetu ni ndogo sana.
28 minutes past the hour. We need to take our first commercial break here on KBC's Lunchtime News. Don't go too far. We still have more for you on the other side, including business and sports.
Technology has become a crucial part of our society. Without technological advancements, so much of our everyday lives would be drastically different. As technology develops, it strives to fulfill the changing needs of society. This means that technology exists to help us achieve the things that we wouldn't be able to achieve without it. Take on Tech looks at the advantages and downside of technological innovation in a world that is becoming increasingly dependent on new digital technologies. Every Monday at 10:30 p.m.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture,
Movies, gossip and trends, sports, drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
To keep you informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed.
We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
Welcome back and thank you for joining us once more. This is what is happening in the world of business. Now, Sasini Group has swung into loss making after reporting a full year net loss of 562 million shillings, down from 542 million shillings net profit the firm posted the previous year. Sasini Group attributes the loss, which represents a year-on-year drop of 203.7%, to depressed commodity prices of their key commodities in the international market and increased cost of production due to costlier farm inputs and electricity.
A number of coffee reforms are being instituted in a bid to profitize the subsector and increase production. However, a section of players in the coffee value chain say the reforms have affected their operations, reducing earnings. Sasini says recent realignment of their coffee business operations has negatively affected their sales, leading to a 562.8 million shillings loss for the 2023-2024 financial year. The group's management say the geopolitics issue in the Middle East also affected their sales, as the firm struggled with the closure of the Suez Canal. The closure of the Suez Canal delayed shipments to the European market, resulting in reduced quality of perishable commodities like the avocado, hence affecting the crop's price in the markets. Prices of macadamia and tea, the firm's key export commodities, reduced considerably due to market distortion. For macadamia, the prices were affected by the recession in the US, one of Kakuzi's key macadamia markets. Sasini says the cost of production due to high cost of power and fertilizer, as well as below average production of their four key commodities, also ate into their margins. Sasini shareholders will not receive dividends for the previous financial year as profits dipped. Meanwhile, the board of Limuru Tea PLC has informed its shareholders that the company is expected to record a decline of more than 25% in profit tax for the financial year ended 31st December 2024. The firm attributed the decline to high operational costs driven by rising labor costs and the adverse market conditions. Benson Rioba reporting for Lunchtime News.
The government is stepping up efforts to address long-standing challenges in Taita Tavete's mining sector, emphasizing on value addition to improve efficiency, create jobs and drive local economic growth. Mining Principal Secretary Elijah Mwangi said the government's commitment is ensuring that the region's rich mineral resources, particularly gemstones, benefit local communities.
He pointed out the underutilization of the Voi Gemstone Value Addition Center, which was opened in 2024 to help miners maximize the value of their gemstones. He announced that leadership elections at the center will take place within 30 days to resolve management issues and enhance its operational efficiency.
There are some of us who have taken the booths, but they have not been paying the requisite rent that was agreed upon. Nevertheless, those are the issues that we want to discuss, including the leadership of the Gemstone Center.
The Ministry of Mining is deploying geologists, mining engineers and explosives inspectors to help improve mining practices and safety. In efforts to formalize artisanal mining, 12 artisanal cooperatives have already been formed, providing miners with better access to resources, training and support.
Na wale wachimbaji wanapata hasara. Mimi nimetembea huko nikaona wale wachimbaji mazingira wanayofanyia kazi, alafu unashindwa hizo billions zimeenda kutumika kwa mataifa mengine. Surely, kwani hapa Kenya we have the capacity to stop that.
The government is also placing significant emphasis on value addition to locally mined gemstones. Director of Mining Gregory Kituku stressed the importance of the Voi Gemstone Centers.
The performance will be based on submission of quarterly exploration results and the amount that has been used in exploration, that has been expended in the exploration. And this is geared towards eliminating speculators. Tunapatia wewe leseni na unaenda kuweka chini.
E-commerce platform Jumia is ramping up efforts to integrate affiliate marketing through local influencers, bloggers and content creators as a core strategy to capture Kenya's rapidly growing young and tech-savvy demographic. Jumia CEO Vinod Goel says the affiliate marketing will enable better connection with consumers through influencers, bloggers and content creators that will create a win-win system that enhances sales while providing income opportunities for the youth through commissions.
Trying to add another such an army is the army of people who are on social media, on Instagram, on TikToks, who can live stream Jumia's product and are able to influence more people to buy those products. Right? They are able to show the products in a more detail. They can tell a little bit more about the description of the product, etc. And we have seen those kind of videos, right? So now we are entering the phase to tap a huge base of micro to the biggest influencers to bring them as J-Force, as Jumia Force, and opening a new revenue stream for them to earn commissions from Jumia. I think this is going to be a game changer in the coming days. So I invite every single person who thinks they have the time and they are looking for some commission. Not only it gives you the additional income, but also makes you tech savvy, also pushes your sales skills, brings you forward on the TikTok, on Instagram. So overall a good package, and in return, why not earn some money as well?
And of course, that is all we had in store for you for the world of business. But let's directly jump into the world of sports, where Barcelona came from behind to beat Real Madrid 5-2 in an incident-packed Spanish Super Cup final in Saudi Arabia last night that saw Barca keeper Szczesny red-carded. Now, it marked the second time in 2 El Clasicos under Flick that Barcelona have hit plenty of goals against their rivals, having won 4-0 at the Bernabeu in La Liga in October. It was also Flick's first trophy since 2020-2021 Bundesliga title success with Bayern Munich.
He's got Balde in front of him, Vinicius running in support, and Mbappe makes Barcelona pay. 1-0 to Real Madrid. Packing his bags if the rumours are to be believed. As Lamine Yamal, lovely touch from Lewandowski. Can he equalise the youngster? He can indeed. My word. Well, the lad is a bit special, isn't he? 21 minutes on the clock, and it's 1-1, Lamine Yamal. Yeah. It's hard to see. That angle doesn't look quite as convincing, but the other one, it does really look as if Camavinga catches him with a bit of a kung fu kick. And that is a good penalty. 2-1 to Football Club Barcelona. Barcelona recovering the ball, and here is... Oh my word, what a ball from Koundé, and what a finish from Rafinha. 3-1 to Football Club Barcelona. Fede Valverde, Balde makes it 4-1 to Football Club Barcelona. Unbelievable. And all of a sudden they become very hard to stop. Meanwhile, however, here's Rafinha clean through on goal. Can he make it 5? Rafinha makes it 5-1 to Football Club Barcelona. Unbelievable. Where is the Real Madrid situation? But if you're a substitute goalkeeper, it's what you tend to have to do, and he couldn't stop that one. 5-2, Rodrigo smashes home the free kick. Real Madrid. Well, Gil Manzano has seen enough. There is the final. Marc-Andre ter Stegen lifts up the Spanish Super Cup trophy. Football Club Barcelona can celebrate 2025 Spanish Super Cup winners.
Of course, nostalgic moment there. If you see a scoreline like that, you do remember how Messi used to play and Ronaldinho in the El Clasico. Now to the English Premier League, where Joshua Zirkzee scored the winning penalty as a 10-man Manchester United beat Arsenal in a thrilling encounter to reach the fourth round of the FA Cup. United had to play with 10 men for nearly an hour after Diogo Dalot was shown a second yellow card, having a tackle on an Arsenal midfielder, that is Mikel Merino.
Garnacho able to steal away, a misjudgment by Gabriel. And Bruno Fernandes! Glorious goal for Manchester United!
Hey everybody, welcome again to the 77%. I'm Liz Cho and I'm